Hi, parents and students and lovers of our program and just interested viewers. I'm Deacon John Wilson, Education Enrichment Director for West Angeles Church. And I'm here to talk about, equality in education today. And was careful not to say equity because the meaning of it has changed so much. But let's just say fairness and equality and how it's reached in education. And then what better place to do that certainly from a faith-based perspective, but I think I picked something from the Bible that really has universal application because it's a parable, and parables are meant to tell us more about life. So I think we can actually do that. Before I start, I need to put this in perspective. Society seems to be struggling with deep concern about educational outcomes, about racial outcomes too. And I want to say that, sure, I share the same concern. The difference is in how to solve it. See, I don't want to do additional racism and discrimination or pit children against each other. I don't want to have, the stuff that we say was done to us and was being done now to white folks. I think that's not the way forward in education for sure. And we've put a lot of our efforts in West Angeles Education Enrichment Program in equality of opportunity, as I said in the last video, allowing students to succeed with what they're given. And then they can come back and help, and a lot of them have with my program. But the key thing is to work on this front end to make sure that all the opportunities are available, because a lot of the opportunities are right available in our community, right available every day. Millions and billions of dollars has already been spent on things from government that aren't being used, that aren't being utilized. For example, I think the two-year college system is not used properly. These are all things to provide more opportunity for students to start careers. And I have a lot more to say about that. You better believe it. But let's talk about this parable of talents. I see no other way but to read through it and then comment on it. And I'll try to keep this short. For it will be like a man going on a journey who called his servants, it's right here on the screen, and trusted them to his property. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to each according to his ability. Then he went away. He who had the 5 talents went at once and traded them and made 5 talents more. Then you see the one that had 2, traded 2 and made 2 more. But then the one that received 1 talent, rather than trading and getting more for it or investing or developing what was given to him, just put it in the ground. And he hid his master's money. Now, after a long time, the master of those servants came and settled the accounts with them. And he who received 5 talents said, hey, I've received 5 more talents from the 5 you gave me. The one that had the 2, master, you delivered me 2 talents, and I have 2. And he says, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over little. I will set you over much. And mind you, this is 100% yield from the investment. Seems that you get out of, the writer is saying, you get out of it what you put into it. And that's what we should be telling our students. Don't worry about the white man. Don't worry about the numbers. Don't worry about this racism stuff. There's nothing to stop you from getting the most out of what you got, what you put into it. More on that later. Notice what he says too. Enter into joy of your master. He who also had the 2, it goes to the 2. Same thing is said to him. But he says the 2 is a little different. I will set you over much. Then he tells him, enter into the joy of the master. He also received 1 talent, came forward, saying, Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow. Notice it says you'll be a hard man. It's not right to tell students that it's not going to make a difference either way. You can't succeed until we deal with this white man. You might build activists, but activists for the most part are poor. A job of the educational system is not to build activists, it's to get them a yield on their investment. If this person had invested one and got one, there's every evidence in this story that they would have received blessings. They would have been happy. But look instead how the master deals with them. And some say it's harsh, but I'm gonna see if I can help you with that. Master, I knew you'd be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow and gathering where you scattered no seed. So I was afraid. Now think about how we tell our students. I was correcting a student one time before the pandemic. As a student that got straight A's, we had given an award or said something nice about him in a ceremony or in one of our informal birthday celebrations. I heard somebody tell him that, you know, he talks like a white kid. And that's something that white kids do. I harshly corrected that child. Why does whiteness have to be success? Why is success just success or goodness, or it's well-spoken? Why do we have to get into the race all the time? And that's what's going on. I was afraid. I went and hit the tail on the ground. Here you have what is yours, the same one talent, not two, not a second one. But his master answered him, I have it in red here. You wicked and slothful servant. I saw that about maybe 20 years ago. I said, ooh, Jesus, you're so, literally Jesus, because that's what people equate it to here. The Lord, the master anyway. Man, you are harsh. Called him wicked, which is saying you're sinful and lazy, slothful. Oh God, you knew that I reap where I have not sown and gathered no seed. And then you ought to have invested my money with the bank. You ought to have made something of yourself. You should have been able to do something with your life. This is what the analogy is when you look at it in terms of this equality of opportunity. So what was the decision made here? Take the talent from him, give it to the one who has 10 talents. For everyone who has more will be given, will have abundance. But from the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. And cast the worthless servant into outer darkness, in that place where there'll be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Seems very harsh, but society is harsh. When we have opportunities and don't take them. That's why our program is important. I'm announcing a shift to this parable as an important part of describing what we do. We like to give students opportunity, more opportunity to succeed through our SAT prep, our college prep class, our college essay training, our summer bridge program, which right now is enrolling. These are all our various other programs for parents to teach them how to deal with schools. All of those are to ensure equal opportunity for our students. It's fair for society to work on that. We could argue all day about how much to spend on it and all that, but it's to give them opportunity. But we should not see an outcome that's not what we want. For example, when we see Black students are graduating from university at the same rate as white students, the reasons for that are so varied and so related to our community. Are there Black folks and brown folks turn their attention to develop our kids? Are we just trying to make them activists? Is an important question to try to affect the outcome. We should work on equal opportunity for our students. And I don't see how that's in any way being a sellout. Everybody's not an activist, but they all need to know how to succeed. When I understand that, I can provide the things to parents and students that you need for the youth to be successful. God bless you. Bye-bye now.